My friends, I'm back to Everstoke. It's December, it's cold, but my oh my, during the day, it is amazing. But in the mornings, quite cold. Overnight, quite cold. So we've got a couple problems because of the cold. Problem number one, the water system that I spent weeks on and thousands of dollars on is in trouble. It is definitely getting cold enough for stuff to get frozen, for pipes to burst. So I need to figure out a way to warm up this place. But first and foremost, I need to fully insulate it. We built a pretty good structure, but I still have big ass gaping holes in it that need to be filled in and actually put proper. Problem number two, my solar generator system. No good in the cold, just absolutely kills the battery every single night. Even if we get the solar panels in a decent spot and we get a full charge, the next morning it's just gone. I climbed on top of the shipping container this morning and draped the solar panels over the side because that's where all the morning sun is. And I just feel like, okay, if it gets more morning sun, that'll be it. It'll get charged up, but it doesn't solve the problem of the battery getting way too cold overnight and freaking out. So here's what I'm thinking. I need to bring all the solar panel stuff, the solar generator, into the well house. So then I can get the solar panels on top of this. I can have everything self-contained and get some kind of little heater, some kind of electrical heater, even if it's just like a light bulb. Sometimes these incandescent light bulbs can heat up the inside of a well-insulated space pretty good. So that would solve the problem of the pipes bursting if I can keep the temperature above 45 degrees or something like that. And it'll fix the problem of the battery wigging out when it gets down really, really cold. Combining water and electricity, a very novel concept. Oh yeah, it's frozen. This is just like a trickle of what should be coming out. So it would seem like this pipe is actually frozen. You can almost feel it. But then down here, we have full flow. So that's very good that these bigger pipes are not as prone as this teeny weeny. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now it's starting to break through and get some water pressure. The well house has been sitting just like this for the past month, so it did pretty good. But obviously, I gotta get some door handles on this thing instead of using a screwdriver to get in and out. Okay, now I got a door that works at least. I guess I shouldn't be wearing my dangly hat around power tools. The finishing touches on stuff like this makes it look so much better. Hide all the imperfections. I should have brought my little propane heater. I don't know what I was thinking. 30 degrees inside the van is intense, but I slept pretty good inside the blankets. It's not that big a deal, but my face and then everything inside here is just freezing. So once I was able to get my hands to defrost, I could get to work with making a little shelf for the Bluetti inside the well house. And then, after about the 5th time I tripped over the threshold of the door, I realized I need to fill in this whole area with gravel, get it level, and make it safe. Then I moved the solar panels to the top of the well house. This was a gamble, and it just so happened to work out that the footprint of the 3 solar panels is about the same footprint of the well house. Hallelujah. And it was really easy to drill a hole and feed all of my solar cable wires right through. The roof has a very sharp edge, so I put some mastic tape on it and on the solar panel wires just to make sure nothing got cut through. I'm going to have to keep an eye on it though. Then I went to work with the spray foam. If you can see light peeking through, that means air, water, and bugs can get into your building. You do not want that. So I tried to seal up every possible seam to keep this thing healthy as possible for as long as possible.
I also built a little insulated ceiling, which will hopefully help seal things up, help keep things insulated even more, kind of reduces the volume of air that needs to be heated up. It also hides the solar wires as well.
I just had a very productive hardware store run. I think I'm gonna be able to keep it warm in the well house. We'll see. So I got a heating lamp. I've heard these things work pretty good just to keep the temperature up a little bit, especially if the insulation is doing its job. Then I got one of these little thermostat plugs, so it automatically will turn on when the temperature gets cold, which means we can get the heat lamp going when it gets cold. Then we gotta have a thermometer in there too. I need this in my van. The heat lamp uses about 250 watts, which is pretty decent. I'm very interested to see how much the battery is gonna get drained, or if the battery is just gonna get drained because it's cold, or what the heck is gonna happen. And just for reference, the well pump takes 1,000 watts to pump all that water up from 150 feet down and have it pump 24 gallons per minute or whatever. So 1/4 of the power of that, that's a lot of power. Okay, just waking up. Now is the time to see what happened. So the temperature sitting right around 29 degrees. Yesterday morning it was 22 degrees around this time. Okay, we've got 0% battery, but internal temperature is about 39, which is amazing, right? That means no frozen water. That's a mission semi-accomplished. We just, it has to stay higher than 0% to actually get things done. And as a reference, inside the shipping container is about the same temperature as outside, so 0 insulation. I think today is going to be a bit of a cloudy day as well, but we've got the solar panels in the new position, and hopefully by the end of the day, the battery will be up at 50%. That might be wishful thinking.
It was completely wishful thinking. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it had only charged up to 4%. So I broke out the Honda generator. You can actually directly charge up the battery with a wall plug, and this is as good as a wall plug. Just let the gasoline burn. The next thing on the docket was a bit more plumbing. It's time to get an external hose bib going. So important to have water on tap outside instead of having to go inside the well house and all that stuff. And you know, I debated on whether making this water unfiltered or filtered, and I went with filtered because I just don't want everyone being like second guessing, wait, can I drink this water? Can I not drink this water? And I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact on the system to run this water through the filters. In the end, hopefully it helps all of us.
I thought it was off. It's a bit cold. This might be wishful thinking, but I'm gonna try to get the outdoor hot water heater shower thing going. I've got a couple hours before the hardware store down the street closes, and I think they probably sell propane tanks. Maybe not. I might have to go to the Gragel store, the little market. Got what I needed. I might have a hot shower tonight. We'll see about that. Okay, I got the batteries in. I got the water hooked up. I got the outlet of the hot water hooked up. Got the gas hooked up. I don't see an on button. Back to the instructions. Okay, it's happening. I got a leak on my hose, but started at 47. Whoa, whoa. We got a flame in there. Maybe I should not have it sideways. I really didn't want to drill any holes because I don't know if this is gonna be a thing or not, but it turns out I'm just gonna drill some holes. Oh, I can feel the luxury any minute now. 48 degrees, starting out. 81, burn me. 84 doesn't feel that warm. 86. I wonder if I reduce the flow of water, the temperature could get hotter. 99. Oh, now we got steam. 102. Some first degree burns. Let's do it. 108 degrees, 110. That's a shower. And now I've turned this area into a nice muddy mess. I'm thinking maybe we need to build a deck around this whole thing just to keep things elevated and like let water flow off as it will. This is our previous outdoor shower setup. I think we can retire this and move some stuff over there. I almost forgot the most important thing. I need to actually pull this drain plug because it's gonna freeze overnight and I don't want the internals of the tank to freeze up and blow up on my first day. No water. Okay, we're at 98%. Seems like it's been stuck at 98% for a while, so it's time to call it a night and see what happens in the morning. And we're also at about 44 degrees inside the well house as a reference point. So it rained last night. The temperature did not get very low, but I'm still curious to see how the battery is doing. So we got only dropped a couple degrees in here, but the battery dropped about 8%, which is very interesting because I don't think that the heat lamp turned on. I think that's just generic battery drainage because of cold weather. If that's possible, I think that's what's happening. Man, I'm actually bummed that the temperatures didn't get really low last night so I could actually see how much energy the heat lamp uses, how much the insulation is actually working. I really wonder how many cycles it would have to go through if the insulation is good enough, but I'm not gonna find that out today. I really like the idea of drilling some holes and putting all these pipes, these 3 hoses into the well house, and then you could keep your propane inside. It's starting to get pretty tight and cluttered inside the well house, but I think I would have room for the propane tank, and I could maybe even buy a smaller one. I kind of got the big one. And then you could put the hot water in there. You could get the supply water from inside as well instead of getting it from the hose. And then it would look cleaner, but it would kind of operate better too. But for now, we can be very hokey and just kind of wing it as we go, especially because if you keep the plumbing on the outside, it reminds you to disconnect it all and to drain the system. If you kept the plumbing on the inside, these little bits and pieces would freeze most likely and maybe cause some damage. I've been wearing the same nasty clothes for like 4 days now, so it's time for a shower and a change. I have been changing my socks because my boots are really great, but they're also like seal in your feet and they just get all nasty and sweaty and ugh. So I've changed my socks, but not much else. Okay. Let's go. 75, 72, 77. I'm not touching it till it's 100 degrees. Oh, the sun's going away. No. Come on. 97 degrees is good enough. Oh, yeah. Woo. Oh, I don't want to get out. Oh, that's so nice. That is so nice. On demand. Oh yeah, I wonder if the well pump turned on because I just used a lot of water. The key to a great shower is a great towel, and this is not a great towel, but that was still a good shower. I need to bring a much more fluffy, nice towel next time. I just realized that overnight the AC was off, so there was no drain happening on the battery at all, and it just lost 8% overnight just because it was cold. Well pump is filling up silently and nicely. It's going to be a very sad day when this all stops working and I have to troubleshoot it piece by piece by piece. Is it the electrical? Is it the pump? Do we have to pull the pump out of the well? Oh my. Took about 10% battery to refill the well tank. Okay, now I gotta get our little security camera installed. It runs on a solar panel, it has a battery, it works on the LTE spectrum. We have pretty good cellular coverage out here. I tested it at home and it was a big piece of crap and I am totally disappointed, but I think it was because I hadn't quite gone fully through my cell phone setup. I signed up for Google Fi. That's Google's cellular network that they do that's piggybacked on top of Sprint and T-Mobile. Which one is it now? T-Mobile or Sprint? I think T-Mobile bought Sprint. So it's on the T-Mobile network, and I think it's working better now. It was not great at all, but really, we just want to be able to detect if people are out here, if it's snowing, if it's raining, just to have a little bit of an eye on what's going on. I feel like this is the spot right here because I want to be able to look out all these different directions. And oh yeah, the camera does have like pan and tilt. It doesn't have zoom, but you can actually move the camera around up and down, left and right. So if you're out here, you got a pretty good eye in the sky. Actually hear when you're talking. I know the road might be a little loud, but you know, this is a little bit louder than normal conversation, but I'm very curious. Wow, the audio on that is actually not that bad. The video is very choppy, just enough to kind of poke in and see what's happening. And also, since it's a battery operated camera, it's not recording 24/7, but I think we can set up triggers and like AI detection, and if there's an animal or a person, the camera will follow that thing. So that's pretty good. If there's a bear walking around, be able to see it. Now I just got to get the little solar panel up there and going. And while we're on the topic of solar powered stuff, the street light we have has been bulletproof so far. Even on really dark, cloudy days, overcast, that thing always looks like it's almost full power. It's a really good spot for the sun as well to get charged up. It's always on at night. When you walk by, it turns on, turns brighter. I'm gonna have to leave a 5-star Amazon review for this thing because we picked a good spot and it has been really good so far. Okay, good to go on this thing. Don't look down. I turned the alarm on. Pretty weak. Oh man, that gets me thinking that I should have put a bigger memory card inside the camera. Oh, I don't want to get the ladder out. Okay, we'll revisit that later. And then finally, I can put up all the other game cameras that I have. I bought 4 game cameras, 4 more solar panels. I just got to set these things up, put them out there, let them breathe. Of course, we've been getting lots of fun little things happening on the property, more coyotes than ever. The bears are still walking around. It's just awesome. I found a really decent game trail coming right through here with some bear poop on it. And I've got a pretty good tree that's gonna be able to shoot right down there. Let's strap this thing on. It's very easy to get analysis paralysis and be like, oh, is that tree better? Is this tree better? Is this tree better? Just start. You just gotta start and then dial it in down the road. Oh man, this is total garbage. I should have just bought this brand solar panel mount, kind of the same thing for this. Instead, I trusted that the thing that came with the solar panel was actually gonna be decent, but it ain't. All right, everything is set up. I'm gonna hit the road and get out of here before the roads get icy and snowy and freezing. And then of course, I'll be back in a couple weeks, in a few weeks, who knows? But until then, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail. Hey, before you go, one thing, hit the like button. It actually matters in the YouTube universe for some reason. I think watching the videos to the end, like you are doing right now, actually matters more, but it all adds up. It all helps the channel. And if you want to help the channel even more, I've got my extended cuts on Patreon. Every riding video I do almost ends up being a 45-minute extended cut where you can sit on the trainer, do your trainer ride, watch the extended cut. I have hundreds of videos over the past 5 years of all my world travels. So if you want to be on the trainer for 100 hours, you'll never run out of content. It's $3 a month over on my Patreon page. It supports the channel much more than you would ever know.
I've also got my high-end components company up and running, Trail One. Everything's in stock right now. If you need a hop-up for your bike, new set of handlebars, a stem, or grips, we're adding new products every couple of months or so. You'll see something really good coming from Trail One. And then we're gonna start the give back. We're gonna start making videos about giving back to the trails. You're gonna see that whole story unfold. I cannot wait. And of course, thanks to Ibis for being a fantastic sponsor of this channel, day in and day out.